It's 8:30. Good morning, I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. Residents who've been hit hard by the Williamtown RAF-based chemical contamination are getting the chance to share their story. They have until December 14 to make a submission to the inquiry which has been set up to investigate the scandal. It comes after Patterson MP Bob Baldwin used question time to ask the government what actions have been taken so far to fix the problem. Representing the Defence Minister, Foreign Minister Julie Bishop told Parliament there's no easy solution.
It transpires that there are few effective or viable large-scale remediation techniques other than incineration of contaminated soil have been identified. So incineration is an option that Defence is examining, and I'm advised that the Minister for Defence met with officials about this in Canberra last week.
A cricketer has told Newcastle local court he needed 9 stitches to his head and suffered headaches, nausea and dizziness for 6 weeks after he was allegedly assaulted by a rival player during a suburban lower grade match in February. Merryweather captain Michael Varnum is accused of hitting rival player Peter Laylor twice in the head with his bat after a mid-pitch collision. He's facing 1 charge of assault occasioning actual bodily harm and could be banned from cricket for life if found guilty. The idea of turning Newcastle railway station into a fresh produce market isn't going down too well with Novocastrians. Urban Growth surveyed thousands of people to get their thoughts on future development along the rail corridor, with a majority not in favour of the market option. However, most want the station to be turned into a destination with its heritage value maintained. Meanwhile, Premier Mike Baird says he's committed to seeing light rail in Newcastle, but it won't happen for another 3 years.
By the end of 2018, light rail will be in the city of Newcastle, and I look forward to being on that first light rail carriage with as many people as possible, and that'll be one heck of a day.
A disqualified driver is facing several charges after leading police on a pursuit through Cessnock last night. Officers noticed the 30-year-old in Neath Street just before 7:30 and gave chase, going through several streets. He was later found at a relative's home at Kersley. He's facing 5 traffic offences. A check of his licence revealed he's banned from driving until 2022. Wallsend MP Sonia Hornery is calling on the government to increase its funding to state schools in the Hunter. It follows a report from the Australian Government Primary Principals Association, which shows more taxpayer dollars will be allocated to wealthy private schools compared to state schools over the next 4 years if a major overhaul of the current funding model is not undertaken. Sonia Hornery says students in state schools are disadvantaged.
They're worried about the ghettoisation of some of the schools, meaning that some of the poorer schools end up with students with parents and families who are disadvantaged or low income earners. That's where the students end up, whereas the students of wealthy parents with privilege get the best facilities.
Newcastle Council has put an end to a long-running dispute over a couple of pergolas at Bar Beach. Council workers have dismantled the roofing above the structures amid claims the owner of the Swell kiosk put them up illegally. Mark Prince has told the Herald he only did it to provide some shade for beachgoers, but Council says the unauthorised changes should have been approved.
Sport, thanks to our sponsor, Warners Bay Sports Club.
Newcastle Jets midfielder David Carney is promising to push the boundaries in the lead-up to Friday night's 4th-place fight-out against Sydney FC. It comes as the 32-year-old casts aside speculation of a January transfer to the Sky Blues. For the second time in as many seasons, the side looking to add more prowess to its strike force. But Carney says he's committed to Newcastle.
The preference is to stay here. I like Newcastle, bought a house here, really love the lifestyle here as well, and I'm enjoying my football, so sometimes the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
The Knights are preparing to bid farewell to a much-loved player, veteran Chris Houston making the switch to Super League on a 2-year deal with the Widnes Vikings. The back rower was released from the final 12 months of his contract after failing to feature in new coach Nathan Brown's plans for 2016. And tributes continue to flow from around the world for late Maitland Pickers legend Merv Wright, who passed away in his sleep last week at the age of 73. That's sport. I'm Belinda de Lasheras.
2 NURFM News Time 26 to 9.